Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of Fnatic versus NextKZ after what was, I would imagine, an upset for many, many people, and some rares were probably lost. NextKZ managed to take Game 1 against Fnatic, and pretty damn impressive. Like, that was some damn impressive play from NextKZ. I think their execution throughout the whole entire game was pretty good, solid play all around. And things are looking good. Things are looking good as we get into Game 2 now. And no surprise that they're going to pick themselves up the Centaur once again, which did so much work for them. But we've got some really interesting stuff to talk about in this draft. So I'm going to welcome in my co-caster, Pitmunkle. Pitman, our first two pickups, I'm not sure which side is more OP here with their first two solid. The synergy between both of these first two pickups for both teams is just crazy.
Yeah, I was like seeing Fnatic, and I was like, oh man, wait a second, they can first pick Wisp, and then they actually picked him, and then next picked up Batrider and Centaur. I was like, wow, that's like some weird-ass thing to give away. And then they actually picked the Tiny, so what? We got a Tiny Wisp combination for Fnatic. This can be dual mid, this can be whatever. Like, seriously, Fnatic, we know they love the dual mid Wisp Tiny stuff, and so far, if they get their hands on the Wisp Tiny combination, they're usually crushed with it. So I can't wait. But yes, you mentioned Batrider Centaur. Lasso someone up and press .R, and suddenly the freaking Batrider is running at full force in your whole team with someone in his lasso bringing you some goodies there. So that's nice. Well,
yeah, man.
Wait.
Who needs a Mask of Madness Batrider when you've got that max movement speed thanks to the Centaur ultimate? I'm actually going to be pulling it up right now, but this combination between Batrider, like if you have to give up Wisp Tiny to Fnatic, which you have to. Like, you're not going to go for, like, a block pick. Just grab the Tiny away from their hands. It's not going to work. That never does. So, you have to give up the Wisp Tiny. What do? Well, you pick up Batrider Centaur. I think that's the best possible combo you can go with if you're going to give away the classic Fnatic lineup. Now they're going to be able to follow that up. They're trying to grab everything they can that is going to be effective against the Tiny. Now grabbing Lifestealer, so they're going straight out for the mid game. Right, they're going for that opportunity where Tiny doesn't quite yet have the Aghanims and is still relatively squishy. Like, once he has Aghanims, he tanks up a little bit more, he's hitting hard. Once he has AC, he starts becoming a really strong carry. But before that point in time, NextKZ, I think, have a lot of big openings, and they've got every single hero to make it work. They picked up their 3 cores. Batrider Centaur, we've already talked about that, but now we have the Nyx bomb as well to add into that ganking presence.
And also one thing to note, I just had that DOTA open and I checked back the Batrider as well as Centaur. So Batrider's got 54% win, Centaur's got 53, and together they only quote-unquote have 55. So that's not as much as you might have expected, but still, like, if you win 55% of your game, that's still good. And wow, look at those picks, man. This just screams early game. Venomancer, super strong as soon as he gets his ultimate. Undying, Tombstone, it's... Jesus, wow, how is Fnatic gonna do this? Like, are they gonna be doing some dual lane shenanigans?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got to say, like, this is one of the... there are certainly some really, really strong dual lanes out there. Like, the Abaddon Weaver is really, really good defensively, as well as has the opportunity to get kills. The Mirana Shadow Demon, a little bit more offensive in my mind, but still has some good defensive capabilities. But then you've got one of these dual lanes, the Venomancer Undying. That is one of the most offensive dual lanes that you can actually get, and it's really effective. The slow, the decay, the tombs, everything that you have is built for fighting pre-level 6. So if you can actually just get to level 2, level 3, I think that this current setup is going to be really, really good if they want to go for an aggro dual lane, run them Wisp Tiny in the mid, and then just pick up something. Now, I'm not really sure what their last core would be, though. I'm kind of questioning that because they've got enough early game with the Venomancer Undying, but how do you stop all this mid-game pickoff between the Batrider, the Lifestealer, the Centaur? You've got a little push now with the Shadow Shaman, and they're going to round everything else out. I think this is smart. They're going to go with some more lane presence with the Lich being picked.
Yeah, Lich is super smart here. You want to just starve out the Yo. If the Wisp doesn't get a quick and only level 6, it's not as good as you want him to be. Like, still, you've got a Venomancer, you've got an Undying, both of which are very, very strong prior to their level 6. But if you starve the Yo, if you starve the Wisp, that's nice. Problem is, how are you going to lane this? So do you go for like a 2-2-1 on your own? If you're on the side of next, do you go for a tri-lane? Aggro try maybe could be inbound here as well. I'm not sure. Like, this is very hard to play against if you're facing Fnatic, because those guys can just play so much different stuff, which is all very, very crazy.
I would side with running the Centaur Lich in the middle lane. Because I want to see like the tankier Centaur plus up against any melee hero, you have to be kind of scared. So Tiny, when he goes forward for CS, he has to be a little bit scared. So does Centaur, but he's a little bit naturally tankier than the Tiny. The Lich running in the middle lane to be able to pull the lane back, deny the experience like you were talking about. He's also a really good harasser for the middle lane as a support. Like once he has level 2, level 3, just those constant nukes. He's got a decent attack animation as well. So he's going to be good harassment up against the Tiny. You've got the kill potential with the Centaur. Like those 3 nukes together can kill the Tiny. So I think that's going to be your best bet for the middle lane. Run Lifestealer Shadow Shaman in the bottom lane just because Lifestealer will be able to rage up if he pops it in time, which he should, will be able to dodge the Gale. So if he pops his magic immunity before the Gale hits, he's going to live through this lane. I don't think they can really kill him. They can harass him a lot, but I think you'll make up for that fact.
Oh, wow.
You'll make up for that in the fact that Batrider should have a good 1v1 since he's going to be going up against maybe the Puck, though Fnatic may just have switched something up for us.
Yeah, wow. I would have expected an Alchemist pick, actually, for the solo safe lane. Because so far, yeah, just as you mentioned, like, this just screams 2-1. So this most likely is going to be a 2-1 as well. And what we saw from them in the winning games of MLG's TKO tournament, which was yesterday, right? So they actually picked an Alchemist, and this Alchemist was a freaking raid boss. Syndrome commentated on it, like, how hard he was going to be to get down. He tanked up 5 freaking heroes with his ultimate. Like 35 minutes, and he was essentially 6 slot. He had a heart, he had AC, he had everything in the book. But well, if you go with a Puck played by Hani, this is a playmaker, and this reminds me so much of Cloud9. Actually, give your solo laner a more impact hero who can actually just rotate lots and lots. And these are like the Pucks, these are like the Queen of Pains. And Hani, who usually goes for the mid lane, obviously knows his Puck in and out. And I can't wait to see this actually unfold.
Yeah, this is going to be some interesting stuff. I'm questioning whether Fnatic are going to fully embrace the dual lane scenario. I think they do have the stronger laning phase. But that being said, I think Batrider should have a decent time, depending on what he's up against. I thought he was going to be going in a 1v1 scenario, but as I say that, next KZ might have just changed something. It might be Centaur, a traditional defensive tri-lane. With a Lich, Shadow Shaman, Lifestealer, have the Batrider run into the middle lane, and the Centaur as your solo off lane. Now, this will give Centaur more experience and possibly more room to farm if he is up against one hero. But at the same time, I think you're sacrificing your Lifestealer quite a bit.
Yeah, that's obviously a problem. But you know what? He's got such a crazy set that he's going to be fine with it. I don't know what the set is all about. I mean, look at this one.
Yeah, they turned
Nyx
Lifestealer into a dog.
Yeah, or it's a Nyx stealer. I don't even know what the hell. Anyways, well. Although I have to say, like, we're here in the ESL 1 tournament, and the set is also looking, I would say, fancy. Like, but it's cool. It's all right.
Yeah, it's got some good stuff. Well, it looks like Fnatic, they've just determined what the lanes are going to be. They just went ahead and ran with a really early ward being placed down, and this is a good position for this ward. Probably not going to be countered out. You don't really often see this ward placement right here. If it's going to be, it used to be this was the most common ward spot right in that area. Now we see different spots where you actually try and get somewhere in the lower ground, but very few people are actually getting into some of these tree areas nowadays. So that may be actually be able to stay up, and blocking the pull is going to be a huge win. But next KZ, knowing that they're going to be going up against this really hard to deal with dual lane, Venomancer Undying, they're actually going to be running Batrider bottom here, but Shadow Shaman looks like is going to be babysitting him.
That's smart. That's seriously so smart. And also I have to say, like, top lane, BK can do lots of work against Hani. Even if you phase shift, like, the damage on the return is actually coming out the second you use the attack animation, like you start the attack. So you can't phase shift it, you can't dodge anything of it, you can obviously dodge some sort of it, like if he comes at you, but that's it. And we already see, like, Hani's down half HP, just a bit of harassment coming out. That's all it took.
Yeah, he just got 2 auto attacks, and Hani was feeling the full weight of that double damage rune picked up by our Centaur.
They're going to be finding the Lifestealer. He's got a rage on level 1 though, so he's completely fine.